And we are live. Hello, hello. Happy Friday. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to those in television land. Welcome to those of our silent supporters. Really appreciate each and everyone. Welcome to everyone in the chat. Happy
All
Friday.
right.
As usual, hope everyone had a wonderful and productive week and looking forward to a restive weekend. Here in Canada, it's a long holiday weekend because tomorrow is Canada Day. So everybody is looking forward to Canada Day tomorrow, Canada Day celebration. So those who are in the chat who are in Canada, hope you have a wonderful Canada Day tomorrow, whatever your plans are for Canada Day. And of course, it's welcome to Mystic Sensation, your host Anne Marie and Byron. Today's topic is moving on up.
Moving on
PNP
up.
journey. PNP journey to victory.
All right.
So I'm just gonna acknowledge those who are here in the chat. So Truck Life, welcome. Happy Friday to you. Thank you so much for being here as usual. Miss Monica was there earlier. Moya, welcome. Thank you so much. Saying hello to everyone. Delroy, welcome. Happy Saturday to you over there in the UK. And thank you so much for your endorsement earlier. Really appreciate that. And your pronouncement. Really appreciate that. And Venus, welcome. Saying bless everyone.
Blessings.
Happy Friday. Yvonne, welcome. Happy Friday. Saying good night to you both in Jesus' name. Thank you. And good night to you as well. Juba Bruce, welcome. Happy Friday. Roy, welcome. Happy Friday. Thank you so much for joining. Dion, welcome. Omar, welcome. Thank you so much for joining. Happy Friday. So the number is streaming across the screen. So anyone who wants to call in nearer to the end of the discussion, we're going to give a couple minutes for that. See if anyone will call in. The number is streaming across the screen and I will drop it in the chat periodically. And also the link is pinned to join us on screen. You don't have to turn your camera on, but you can join us on screen and sharing the discussion if you so desire. Okay, and Omar, welcome, saying bless up.
All right.
And Michael, big up Mystic Sensation, the song for the jail, please. What gone bad morning
Can't come good evening. Oh, you know, Sir Michael. Bless up yourself, my boss.
Okay, so without any further delay, I'm just going to hand over to Baron and he will get the discussion going. And as usual,
all right,
do some housekeeping. And remember, guys, when you come in, thumbs up the live, share us out if you can. And if you're new to the channel, please show some support by subscribing. It will be greatly appreciated. Uriel, welcome, saying shalom.
All right. Thank you for that, wifey. And audience, welcome tonight. Of all the Fridays that we had gone through, I feel that this Friday, right, I am so energized, really energized. It could be the poll that energized me, all right. Of course, we saw the result there that the People's National Party, right, is pulling ahead 6%. Lead. Very, very, very good. And we have seen it causing some trembling and some tremor in the Jamaica Labour Party, and where they are trying now to utilize what we call alternative truth, right? And we know how that works, right? We have seen now the Jamaica Labour Party trying to mimic the American Republic with a lot of alternative truth, mixing truth and lie. But my ardent listeners, I want to say that you never see smoke and you don't see fire. And I almost tempted to say that it appears as if the Jamaican government is a rogue government. I know I might be a little bit extreme with that, but here's the reason why I'm saying it. We have seen the struggle to get out the Integrity Commission. that they, the Jamaica Labour Party, right, they are the one who definitely put into law, right, as it relates to the Integrity Commission. And what you notice, whenever the Integrity Commission, right, reported any case against the People's National Party, the Jamaica Labour Party find it okay. The Jamaica Labour Party find it that the Integrity Commission, right, is doing a great job. But whenever the shoes is on the other feet, it's a problem. And that is so much of the modus operandi with the Jamaica Labour Party, particularly with its leader, Andrew Holness, which, I mean, the entire world know that by now that Andrew Holness is a diabolical liar. And what makes him dangerous, because he mixes the truth and the lie together. But tonight, we are here to dissect certain things. And as I said, you never see smoke and you never see fire. So while they were trying now to get out the Integrity Commission, guess what, people? No. We know why they were going so hard, right, to get out the Integrity Commission. We have seen where Warmington, right, had tabled whatever you want to table to get out, right, to diminish the Integrity Commission power. Little did we know that you have 12 members of Parliament, 12 members, Jamaica Labour Party members of Parliament, who are now facing dilemma with the Integrity Commission. Now it has gone a little bit further, my people, where the corruption prosecutor not only look on the Integrity Commission report, but also endorse the report that one of these members is to be charged. Now, in a time like this, where they have 2 years going into an election season and bang around, tearing down, this is another dilemma that is going to jerk the Jamaica Labour Party, I mean, more seriously in the poll. It is going to hurt them. The longer they stay, and with this pruning now, right? So without any form of hesitation, right, I am going to read a document as it relates to what transpired today, as it relates to the corrupted prosecution, also parallel in agreement with the Integrity Commission, finding and decided to charge that member of Parliament. So you know, say other member of Parliament, right? Whatever the shoot, this is problem, because we know that the Jamaican Labour Party corrupted to the core. And when we speak with evidence. When we speak with facts. Charmaine Platt said them wrong and want to be strong. So right, Charmaine. And this is it, as what Charmaine said, right? They want to be wrong and strong. Well, guess what? Papa, let me tell you something. Andrew said him know when to turn it up and turn it down. Well, the Integrity Commissioner turning it up, I mean, I think they want to go turn down. Trust me. So without any further ado, let us go into what we are seeing unfolding into the Jamaica Labour Party camp at this time. All right, honey, read that information and share it with the audience. You were saying? Okay. All right.
Okay, so welcome to those who have recently joined in. Happy Friday. Thank you so much. Really appreciate each and everyone's support. Let me just go ahead and share the screen. Leslie Campbell?
Yes.
Okay. All right, just gonna share this article from the Jamaica Gleaner that's dated today, June 30th. The Director of Corruption Prosecution, Keisha Prince Kamika, has determined that former State Minister of Foreign Affairs Leslie Campbell should be charged for breaching the Integrity Commission Act. Prince Kamika made her decision on the basis that Campbell failed to provide information requested by the Director of Information and Complaints as it relates to his statutory declaration. The report of investigation and Prince Kamika's decision were tabled a short while ago in the Senate. As Prime Minister Andrew Holness moved to shake up his cabinet recently, Campbell tendered his resignation as government senator.
Okay, all right. Okay, so people, there is the evidence, right, to edify my ardent listeners. And thank you, my ardent listeners, for tuning as always, because here you will get the facts, 110% of the facts. Now, let me say this. There's partially a tsunami that is blowing in the direction of the Jamaica Labour Party, right? Because it is not only Mr. Leslie is going to be in bind. We know very well that other hierarchy members, right, statutory declaration cannot be verified. And so then there is more problem to come. It is going to be extremely, extremely serious with this situation. So then we have to just hang in there, and we are going to see the layers of dominoes stumbling down. I can say, and let me say this, you are hearing it on Mystic Sensation. It is going to reach a stage. Let me say this. It is going to reach a stage where Andrew Holness, let me say that, is not only worrying about losing an election. What to come is going to be extremely serious, more than a tsunami. And remember, I stated that here on Mystic Sensation. So if you think he has the power to turn it up and turn it on, when the dominoes start falling over, then he will realize what is going to come. Now, let me say this, people. We have seen, of course, 2 years out that the JLP, Jamaica Labour Party, start to grease their political engine, right? And so then you start to see the promises. Remember, I know, they have been there 7 years, and where people are suffering, particularly in St. Thomas, right? Where people don't even have tap water. Some of the people them don't even have tap water. But they are going to roll out now the promises. Now, let us travel to what is now shaping up to be one of the biggest lies. And as I said, as it relates to Andrew Holness, right? What makes him very dangerous is a person who makes the truth and the lie together. He is a natural deceiver. Charmian Platt, it bun with how them have no integrity and bare face with it. Shameless set of, I tell you, it's serious. Delroy Henry, Mystic Sensation, moving on up is a step in the right direction. I'm telling you, this is it. The hard work has just started. it will take all hands on deck and unity to rescue Jamaica from out of the hands of Conjo. Right? So true with that. But we are going to turn up the heat tonight, you know. So let us look at how the Jamaica Labour Party, right, think tank is working, right? And you know what? What is dangerous about this? When the Jamaica Labour Party using taxpayers' money, because that's exactly what they are doing, right? And paying media houses outside Jamaica, right, to tell lies and to let them look good. Tonight, I am going to debunk that. Because one news media carried that Andrew Holness' administration had done so well with fiscal discipline, right? He's like a superpower in the Caribbean. And this is how they fixed it. But I'm going to fix in business tonight with the truth. With the truth. So, honey, without any further ado, let us play, share the clip so that persons can see that. Superpower in the Caribbean.
Okay. Welcome, guys. Thank you so much for joining. We have two Rickies there.
Bless up yourself, Ricky.
Welcome, and there's also Ricky Live, so I welcome both. Phil, welcome. Thank you so much for joining. Good morning from the UK. Happy Friday to you, and happy new month to everyone who's in the future right now. All right, so let me just go ahead and share.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah, that's it.
This one.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We are coming up with the information because you know that.
All right.
We making sure that we have the facts for you and to give you the information. All right.
Properly.
Okay.
All right. So just go ahead and.
The Miami Herald's Emmy Award-winning reporter Jacqueline Charles has described Jamaica under the leadership of Prime Minister Andrew Holness as a mini superpower in the Caribbean. Charles, in a glowing article published on Wednesday, charted Jamaica's journey from a nation struggling with high debt to a model of economic resilience. She wrote that Andrew Holness's Jamaica is held up as the gold standard by the world's leading multilaterals. Siobhan Campbell tells us more.
New commercial and high-end condominiums are rising from the dirt. The minimum wage is going up, unemployment is the lowest it's been in years, and tourism, the engine of the economy, is once more booming. That's the sterling appraisal of Jamaica by the Miami Herald's Caribbean correspondent, Jacqueline Charles. The Miami Herald is Florida's most influential broadsheet newspaper. Ms. Charles says after years of being hobbled by crippling debt, double-digit deficits, and negative growth, Jamaica is showing its ability to weather crises. She says this hard-won economic stability is getting noticed along with the leadership of Prime Minister Andrew Holness. The award-winning reporter highlighted the Prime Minister's recent meetings with his Canadian counterpart Justin Trudeau, United Nations Secretary-General Antonio Guterres, and World Bank President Ajay Banga. All three praised Jamaica's economic performance and its nearly unmatched recovery from the COVID-19 crisis. Ms. Charles quotes Mr. Guterres describing Prime Minister Holness during his May visit to the island as a champion of climate action and multilateral finance reform. She says Jamaica's ongoing economic transformation is not only raising the country's profile, but that of Mr. Holness. In her view, Holness is quickly emerging alongside Barbados' Mia Mottley as a go-to leader on the world stage. She also highlighted Mr. Holness's role in advocating for and leading the process of returning stability to the people of Haiti. She notes his Switzerland-style gesture of offering Jamaica as a neutral meeting ground earlier this month as stakeholders tried to resolve Haiti's protracted political and humanitarian crisis. She says he was already deeply engaged in helping Haitians find a solution to their worsening crisis. Ms. Charles says when fellow Caribbean leaders failed to support a request by Haiti's caretaker government for the deployment of foreign forces, Holness, who 2 weeks earlier had offered up his country's military with support from the opposition, wasn't dissuaded. However, she notes Jamaica's ongoing struggles with violent crime. This, she says, was driven home when 8-year-old Daniel Rowe was abducted and murdered. The Emmy Award-winning reporter quotes Mr. Holness promising a comprehensive set of policy recommendations to address the issue of violence. Siobhan Cameron.
The Miami Herald's Emmy Award-winning reporter Jacqueline Charles has described Jamaica under the leadership of Prime Minister Andrew Holness as a mini super.
Okay. So, my wonderful audience, you heard that vicious lie, right? Now, let me speak the truth, and I am going to bring forth evidence, right, to debunk that lie. The foreign press have put lipstick on pig. Charmaine, I love Charmaine, I love Charmaine, but yeah, and Charmaine is right. You understand? I don't know what sort of lipstick that they are putting on this pig, but I am going to shame, as it relates to Miami Herald, what sort of investigation that they had done, right, to come with this determination as it relates to what they're saying about Andrew. Number one, let me say this. Andrew came into power 2016. The whole world knew that. And so then those policies as it relates to staying on physical discipline, less borrow, right, and produce more, right? We know that most of those policies were set by the People's National Party. These policies are simply what Andrew sort of merging himself into, right? Because simply obeying them and carrying them out, right? And so then we are seeing, of course, the result as it relates to debt per GDP, right? Going down, but it is not to be said that it is the Andrew Holness administration, you understand, who caused that to happen, right? The truth be told, the combination of both PNP and GLP, PNP put in policies as it relates to where at one point, if we all remember, when, of course, the Jamaican citizens have to undergo such years of wage freeze to pay down the debt. Andrew Holness wasn't in power at that time. So that is the first evidence, right, as it relates to what was imposed during People's National Party leadership, you understand, to have that wage freeze so in order that we can pay the debt and reduce the debt. Now, if we all remember that PJ Patterson had done even much better than what Andrew Holness did, because at one point, PJ Patterson paid all the loans from the IMF. Who can remember that, can speak. But without any further ado, I am going to, again, because I had established that, you understand, some 2 weeks ago, as it relates to the private sector of Jamaica, right? Also going against what the Miami Herald is saying. The private sector of Jamaica, right? The president of the private sector of Jamaica speak the truth in saying that both parties, right, come together as it relates to People's National Party passing the policies and the Jamaican Labour Party carrying the policies through. So it is nothing where the Andrew Holness administration, you understand, single-handedly by Andrew Holness witty thinking. The only witty thinking that Andrew Holness have, you understand, is to going to SSL, you understand, and coming out of SSL. That is the only witty thinking. There is no other else witty thinking, right? So then let me, without any form of hesitation, play, show you that evidence as it relates to what the private sector of Jamaica said, debunking what the Miami Herald said, which this is a flaw. But we understand. The question I want to ask Andrew is how much money, how much of taxpayers' money that you took to pay the Miami Herald? And that is the question I'm asking, because the amount of money that you took to pay the Miami Herald to come up with a report like this, it is taxpayers are going to feel it, not you. It is taxpayers' money you are using to lie to the people. Your same old strategy that you are using. The same propaganda tactics. And so then when you come with AI information and a shape your information, you are the one, right, who are definitely using AI information, definitely using your false narrative. So without any further ado, let me show my ardent listeners what the private sector of Jamaica, the president of the private sector of Jamaica, has to say about what this Miami Herald, whosoever this person is, you understand, who is a simple liar, you understand, trying to make Andrew Holness look good. Let me tell you something. This is not going to help you, Andrew. Without any hesitation, let me just put it up and let the people read it.
Okay, one sec. Glenn asks a good question. He says, if the country is doing so good, why the government can't control the foreign exchange rate?
Exactly, my boss. Exactly.
And Ricky is saying, Canada praise him. Why they don't give Jamaica free pass to come in Canada? They can fool some, but they can't fool
all the time. And you see, look, listen. My ardent listeners who listen to me, they are extremely brilliant, right? These are people who open their brains, right, and think, right? Now, and that is one of the reasons why when I get the information, I want you to assess these information yourself. I am not going to speak on something where I don't have the source to back it up. So when Mystic Sensation comes out and speaking, rest assured, all my ardent listeners, that man, right, have facts, have his facts. All right, so Charmaine's plot, sir, the grass are grow and the earth are starve. This prosperity is for his millionaire friends, them, not we, or you know so. Well, let me tell you something, I'm back up with that, Charmaine. When it comes to all of the beach land, the beach property, notice a Holland friend them get it. You understand? Who them for kick off the black people, them and send them on a back. You know how the thing go. You understand? Much land them deal with, but guess what? We later on it is going to be hotter here. Because when me touch the backside, I got different bangarang in tonight. Trust me. So before me touch the backside, you make me take time, warm up and go in before me touch the backside. So then, all right. So let us prove. Okay. Let us prove as it relates to PSOJ president, not the Miami Herald. We don't want to hear nothing from Miami Herald.
No, they get paid for the story.
Right, because they already get paid for their story.
Okay, so let me just go ahead and share that.
All right.
Okay. Let me just make sure it's sharing properly. Okay. All right, so let me just go down. The private sector organization of Jamaica President Keith Duncan has said that corruption and other crimes continue to be an Achilles heel for the country, preventing it from realizing its true potential despite achieving macroeconomic stability. Crime and corruption, by some estimate, cost our country about 100 to 200 billion per year. We are not saying that we can eliminate it, but we can move it in the right direction, Duncan said on Thursday. As a nation, we have a tremendous resolve to be fiscally responsible and to continue to reduce the debt to GDP ratio, which is projected to close the year below 90%. and that's below pre-COVID level. Jamaica has achieved macroeconomic stability by collaboration, by working together, social partnership. We have achieved macroeconomic stability under the leadership of both political administrations, and the commitment and drive has continued for us to achieve this stability, this sustainability, he added. The PSOJ president said it is important that systems of governance to facilitate transparent and efficient operations be implemented, noting that with Jamaica ranking at 70 out of 180 countries in Transparency International's Corruption Perception Index at the end of last year, it was clear that the country had a serious problem. Duncan lamented that corruption has been normalized and accepted in much the same way as the island's crime epidemic.
All right, take away that. So then, for persons who listen to the Miami Herald will now realize that what being communicated by the Miami Herald is a bunch of garbage. Bunch of garbage. The president of the private sector of Jamaica, right, had stated that both parties responsible, right, as it relates to bringing down the debt per GDP. All right, so we proved that. All right. Now, let us move into what seems to be getting on top of, hey, when you're corrupt, you're corrupt. And I have no hesitation to say that this party, Jamaica Labour Party, is the most corrupt party ever. You know, I'm going to say something. And I want to say, as it relates to Dan Anderson poll, whenever Dan Anderson predict a poll, do a scale and a poll, right? From ever since that he has doing it, he's always right. He's always correct. But again, it goes to show you, right, as it relates to Andrew Holness. And so then, previous polls that Dan Anderson carried showing Jamaica Labour Party still in the lead, Andrew Holness said Dan Anderson is right and agreed with Dan Anderson. Agreed. Now, look, now that the poll has done, and Dan Anderson said, okay, all right, Mr. Prime Minister, you try to turn it up, but Mark Golding just slightly turn it to 6%. And you are fainting. So don't worry yourself. Mark Golding turn it up by 6% for true. Right?
Barely turn the dial.
Mark Golding just barely turn up the dial. Mark Golding just barely touch the dial, you know? And him lose 25%, you know? So then later on, when Mark Golding really turn it up, it's going to be Bangara. Now, so let me say this. Let us play this clip and show you how hedgy the Prime Minister is. People, let me say this. I'm going to say something before I even get into that. Jamaica Labour Party and where Andrew Holness is concerned. Andrew Holness is in a serious dilemma. And so then, by any means necessary, he would like to win. Why? The amount of corruption as it relates to allegation, right? For Andrew Holness to lose this election, this coming election, and the People's National Party goes in, and of course, some audit is going to be done. Corruption is going to be exposed upon corruption upon corruption upon corruption is going to expose. So then Andrew Holness' mindset and his cabinet, because they are corrupted to the core. Now we see that Integrity Commission is now looking on 12 more members of parliament. 12 from the Jamaica Labour Party. Can you imagine that? That cannot verified statutory declaration. So then people, it is really serious where Andrew Holness is concerned. But as we go along, as we journey tonight, we are going to see some things unfold. So let us play on a Prime Minister accused opposition leader for mischief.
Okay, somebody made a very good observation.
Okay, but how comes as the PNP start to lead, Miami Herald have such good news for the people? Uriel, look, put up Uriel so that people can see his response, because I'm responding to Uriel. We are not too surprised. We are not too surprised. Now, and let me talk to, because we have 63% of the population that did not vote. And I'm saying to that 63% that it is critical, extremely critical, extremely critical. And one of the reasons why, because our country, we are losing our sovereignty. We are losing our sovereignty. Losing our sovereignty in the sense that our lands being taken by the elites. Right? Our lands being taken by persons who we say we elected them to protect us, but they are lining their pockets. Now, when we touch in the backside area, you will understand a better clarity where we're going to proceed. SSL needs to be fully explained. And if you notice, have you heard anything as it relates to Crawl? But before I go into that, let me not lose focus. So let us go into the opposition, accused opposition leader.
Okay, again. So welcome everyone. Happy Friday. Happy Saturday to those in the future and other time zone. Accuses opposition.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Let me just share that.
Andrew Holness told party supporters in Clarendon Sunday that amid a wave of lies about his salary, he was inclined to give back his salary as well. This after he refused to accept the salary increase after protests and debate among the people recently. However, he bashed the opposition leader for alleged mischiefs, noting that he's now earning the highest salary in Parliament. Here is Nika Lewis with our lead story.
More political backlash for the opposition leader as the political heat intensifies heading into another election cycle. The hot topic issue, still the controversial salary hike for the political class earlier this year. JLP supporters welcomed the roasting.
The highest paid political man in Jamaica is a leader of the opposition. Almost 3 times my salary. And himself and the Prime Minister get the same salary. But if you check it, he no run a ministry, he no have no duties to do public-wise, other than to make this trip and tell that.
Reiterating that he still earns just over $8.5 million as the Prime Minister, he insists talks of him receiving a salary of some $20+ million are far from true. A political ploy, he assures, that can't find favorability with the facts, despite what some may suggest.
I know all of you here who are parents are not satisfied with the education system as it is. We have started that transformation. There are issues with national security. But as we speak, murders are 13% lower than they were last year. But if you listen to people, it's as if murders are on the rise. These are the facts.
In the end, he offered soothing words of confidence in another election win, adding the JLP remains the preferred party.
The Jamaican Labour Party is still the best hope for the people of the and the better competencies to manage the challenges of the day. And after all,
Now, people, no, honestly to God, no, I mean, I think that the Prime Minister is getting senile.
You senile.
Honestly. No, I think the Prime Minister lost it. Now, the Prime Minister now is now accusing people. Let us look at the antics. The Prime Minister is now accusing the opposition leader, Mark Golding, to be getting the highest salary as a parliamentarian. People, make me ask the question. Who set the salary scale? I want to know who was the person who set the salary scale. To know, as according to him, I use this one word, that Mark Golding is not doing anything, he's not running any ministry. And yet, as according to him, he set a salary scale to pay Mark Golding X amount, even when he know that Mark Golding is not running any ministry. Him say to him one more thing. I am using his own words. Now, look here, people. If you notice what Andrew only said, that he feel like give it back. Hold on there. People, you don't hear that?
One thing feel, one thing get back.
Hold on. People, that mean, what that mean to me, right? That Andrew Holness has not given back any of the salary increase that he got. He said on the clip, he feel like it back. Admitting that he has not given it back. I wonder if people understand what I'm saying. He said it on the clip. But let us talk about the process of the salary increase. We know that Andrew Holness cannot just give it back because he said it. That's not the process. So again, this to show you how Andrew Holness is misleading, wicked, and corrupt. still believe that the Jamaican people don't have no sense. Andrew Holness cannot give back that money. Like Mark Golden cannot just say, okay, I am going to give back the money, right? He can make donations as what Mark Golden did, but the salary scale, right, as it relates to what tabled in the cabinet, you understand, it has to be paid to the account. It has to pay to the account. So I am saying this on this program. Andrew Holness, you still get your salary increase. The salary increase. You still getting it. And so then stop lying to the Jamaican people that you resort to your 8 or 9 million that you used to get. You're not getting 8 or 9 million. You're getting 20 odd million. And this is the wickedness, right? And the viciousness of Andrew Holness telling lie, 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 and talking about UK for people. No. Why then? To show Jamaica, I am talking this and Mystic Sensation, to prove to us, right, that you're not utilizing your money that you have gotten through the appropriate pay process, right? We are going to show you the difference between you and Mark Golden. So when we are here and we are telling people, there's a, and let me say this, and I'm going to say it clear. I respect Ben Anderson, right? Trust me. But the Jamaican people, I am going to talk to as it relates to how Andrew Holness sort of going parallel with Mark Golden. And I have to wonder if the Jamaican people, some Jamaican people, I'm not going to generalize, right? Because under no circumstances that Andrew Holness should be partially parallel as it relates to the polling. Because as far as me concerned, his polling mark should flatline 0 as it relates to Mark Golden, honesty and integrity. And people must understand that on the ballot, for me, the next election, honesty and integrity, good governance has to be on the ballot. That should be one of the fundamental reasons why you are voting for good governance. If you have a leader of any country, not only Jamaica, and that particular leader is corrupt, then institution may fall a prey. Because we have seen that Andrew Holness attempted to pull down institutions into his corruption net. Andrew Holness has 19 agencies within his office. No other prime minister has ever done that. And want to control the narrative as it relates to the Jamaica public broadcasting and, you see, social media. He cannot control. And this is where he has a problem. Andrew Holness, Jamaica Labour Right, Jamaica Labour Party, you have a problem. Your problem is with social media because we are going to speak the truth. Now, how many, and let me show the people this, how many media house, right, is broadcasting what I showed as it relates to the Integrity Commission, right, the corrupt prosecution, charging Leslie. How many of those mainstream media carrying it? mainstream media, all they need to do is to highlight the facts and what is troubling to the country, right? But since the Prime Minister controls most of the mainstream media, right? Well, social media is going to play a part in showing the facts. So when we are speaking, and this is something whole that is out there, I don't even have to show it because people know what Mark Golding has done with his money. So then I am saying, I am calling out Andrew Holness to do something like what Mark Golding did in terms of donations to the respective institutions that Mark Golding has donated to. And he is continuously doing it. And so then you prefer, Mr. Lion, you prefer to tell people to continue to trick the people, right? That you're only getting $8 or $9 million. You are lying. You are lying. You are getting the full salary scale that you set. You are getting the full salary scale that you set with your conscience. You don't have no conscience. Dog, eat your conscience. And you cannot do like what Mark Golding had done. And then this is supposed to show the fundamental difference what Mark Golding did. So Andrew Holness, let me show you what Mark Golding did. Play it, show you. Man of class. Man of class.
Okay, let me just share the donation you want.
Yes.
Okay. I'm just going to share the article regarding Mark Golding's donation. So, okay, let me just...
According to the opposition leader, he saw the retroactive increase in his account last Friday.
In solidarity with the rank and file teachers, police officers, correctional officers, and other public sector workers who have not been treated fairly in the recent salary restructuring and who feel aggrieved and demoralized by what the government has done to them, I promise to donate 80% of my increase to worthy causes. I retain 20% of the increase, which is the minimum increase awarded to anyone in the public sector in the recent pay restructuring. In keeping with my promise to the public, I have donated 80% of my retroactive pay.
Mr. Golding says he has yet to receive the increased monthly salary, but is assuming that if it isn't rolled back, he will see that at the end of this month. Golding says he did not want to wait for that sum and noted the need to ensure he fulfilled his promise to the people of Jamaica. The donations have been allocated to 6 charitable organizations. These are Missionaries of the Poor, Mustard Seed Communities, Food for the Poor, the Joytown Community Development Foundation, the PNP's OT Fairclough Trust Fund, and the Jamaica Paralympic Association. Mr. Golding says these organizations were selected because of their dedication to social welfare and the exceptional work they do in addressing critical needs within Jamaican society. Mr. Golding is maintaining his position that the overly large compensation increases given to parliamentarians must be reviewed and reversed. He is calling for an independent body to thoroughly evaluate and reset the compensation packages.
This matter must be considered afresh by an independent panel of reputable persons based on the principles of equity in the pay for all public servants and taking into account how similar office holders are paid in comparable countries.
Shaloy Smichael for Nationwide News.
Okay, yes. So my ardent listeners, let us speak together. Promise made, promise fulfilled. Promise made, promise fulfilled. That's a man of integrity. And as I always said, that we have moved every stone that we can move. We have double checked, and we have found Mark Golden. Honesty and integrity is his name. And so then we have seen some level of unfairness as it relates to what goes sometimes towards Mark Golden. And if you notice, right, and let me say this, I understand that, you know, people will say they want to see Mark Golden comes out more aggressively and so forth and so forth. But I can assure these people that Mark Golden, not only that he has been out there, right, but in hearts of hearts, he is passing legislation, drafting bills. Let me say it correctly. Drafting bill to make sure that our country can once again absorb good governance. The truth be told is that we all know, and sometimes I wonder what the people want. It seems like it's a situation of Barabbas and Jesus. That the people, right, knowing very well that Barabbas is the robber, criminal, right, persons who are involved in all sorts of wrongdoing, but still chose Barabbas and hugged up Barabbas, right, and said, crucify Jesus. And so then it seems like it is something like this, because what we are going to discuss later, we have seen that, look, have we seen Mark Golden mixed up in SSL? No. Have you ever heard of anything corrupt that Mark Golden participated in? No. Have you seen Mark Golden involved in illegal procurement of contracts? No. So then, my question, what do we want as a people? What do we want as a people? Now, we can use a comparison in the United States, right? A Donald Trump, right? With a Biden. And you can see the level of aggression that Donald Trump have, and it rile up people. And people said, yay, some people just amused by such energy emanating from this man. But in the same breath, that man is so corrosive that he continued to push against the wall of justice in comparison with what Andrew Holness is also doing. And you have a set of people just gravitate towards that sort of negativism. And so then it seems like you have people who are just outrightly corrupt and like corrupted system. But for people who want to see a better Jamaica, a Jamaica that, of course, we learn to respect each other, a Jamaica where we look for nation building, then a Mark Golden is for you. A Mark Golden is for you. We have a government. People, look at it. We have a government that the Minister of National Security, one of the first responsibility of a government is to ensure the safety of its people. and our Minister of National Security has came out in WikiLeaks cable to be mixed up in corruption. And not only that, he's the Minister of National Security, he's also the Deputy Prime Minister. And then to have that person representing us where he cannot represent us on a world stage. Cannot. Let me say this. Let me repeat it. The Minister of National Security cannot represent us on a world stage. Can you imagine? And the Prime Minister has not seen nothing wrong with it. The Prime Minister cabinet cannot see nothing wrong with it.
All birds of the same.
And so then when Andrew Holness be mixed up as it relates to allegation of illegal procurement of contract, you have Warmington said by any means necessary, he will defend him. So, wouldn't you say that this government is a rogue government? Where you have a member of parliament who seated on the oversight commission, he shouldn't even be in parliament. A man like this, who publicly announces biasness. But weird people, we don't know if he is amongst the 12. I never say that he is amongst the 12. I haven't just said, but Patricia said, yes, indeed. We don't know. We are still listening out to hear who are the 12 persons. At least we know that one person already. Not only that, the information has been tabled. It has been decided on that he is to be charged. This is really crippling to the Jamaica Labour Party facing a general election. So, Prime Minister, you can go and turn it up when you like, and you want to turn it down when you like. Let me tell you something. You try turn up the one here and try turn down the one here. What the Integrity Commission is now doing. And let us see how that goes. Now, my people, we are going to drive a little bit harder and go into a different area. Now, without any further ado, when we talk about a leader that we want to straighten our future, to brighten our future, we need a man of integrity. And I want you to sit back just for a few minutes and listen to Mark Golden, the sixth boss leader, a 6% him a lead by. And we know, say, the longer he waits, I can tell Andrew Holness this without any hesitation. Without any hesitation. I am telling the Jamaica Labour Party this. No worry on yourself. The next Dan Anderson poll that is going to come out, you are going to see more bruises. And the next one, Mark Golden will be pulling away by far from Andrew Holness, because we are not going to stop from dig, and we are going to come up with the truth. SSL is not going to stop. Not when Mystic Sensation around. And as a matter of fact, We are looking into new business right now where the backside is concerned. Papa Jesus, you about 40 trucks that people who own. Now we want to know certain things. That if that is true, Mystic Sensation want to ask how the procurement goes and that. Based on information dripping out, the bottoms won't drop out. People, listen to me. Listen to me. The backside bottom soon drop out. Remember that Mystic Sensation tell you that? And when that bottom drop out, hell broke loose. So let us push on a bit. All right. So without any hesitation, let us see what is happening as it relates to the future.
Which one?
All right.
Okay, so again, welcome everyone. Happy Friday. Let me just share the screen, the future of the Caribbean. This one.
Okay, no. All right. PNP leader. You know what? Was it future? Okay, all right. Okay, so we have again, let me just reformat, because we have the skill, you know, we have the ability, we have the capacity. You understand that when we miss, we can just, you understand, because we are that knowledgeable. Yeah, we're that knowledgeable. We see some little pickering going on where people want to say that rumbling in the party, in a People's National Party, and you know, it's just Jamaica Labour Party little mischief. So then if the People's National Party have a little thing, them try to spread it out and make it look big. Let me tell you something. For people who want to talk about, right, Mark Golden and Lisa Hanna, right, as differences and so forth and so forth. Let me tell you something. That is far away from the truth. As a matter of fact, Mark Golden and Lisa Hanna, they are having a good relationship.
It's there.
So, is there?
Yeah, it's there.
Where it is?
Hold on.
So then,
Sure.
okay, all right. Let me go back because I am getting a little bit. All right, so let us go back and before I address that situation as it relates to no. This as it relates to Mark Golden, right? And you know, where people have to see as it relates to you know, his level of honesty and integrity. So without any further ado, I am going to share that clip with you and let you
Okay. It's not sharing yet. I just brought it up.
Okay.
All right, so let me go ahead and share the clip now.
All right, so the clip will be shared. So that's it. And let us listen to what Mark has to say. All right, thank you.
Director of my favorite football team in Jamaica, the Arnick Garden football team, Junglist. None other than Member of Parliament for Southern St. Andrew, former Minister of Justice, the Member of Parliament and the Senator who brought the most laws in the last PNP administration, Church Pen Division, Me now bring up the leader of the PNP and have no empty chair in front of him. I'm going to ask Comrade Samuda, Comrade Shampoo, you don't need to go all the while. Come along the ground again and bring in the people on the inside, please and thank you. Me now do that. Where Comrade Samuda there? In the right just a while ago. Comrade Shampoo, go along the ground. Work the ground for me there. Comrades on the outside. Comrades at the back. I want you to draw a little bit closer. Comrade Preddy. Oh, sir, you're senior councillor, you're senior comrade, you know. Join some of the comrades a little bit closer. Comrades, there are empty chairs in front of me. I want you to draw a little bit closer. Come sit down. Comrades, come full of a chair. This is the People's National Party business. Draw closer. Full up the chair, them. Draw closer. There are chairs that are empty. Before I bring on the leader, I want to ensure that we bring up the police that are here. The comrades who have ensured that the comrades who are on the platform, the comrades in the audience are served. The team that is behind Comrade Natalie, I want to pick them up and heal them up because church friend never looked so good before yet. And that's why you know, say this is the new People's National Party. I want to announce Comrade O'Brien conference is the 25th of June. Comrade Samuda conference is the 2nd of July. Support them, a good youth them, a young youth them. The Bible said, young man, I call upon you because you're strong, a young woman too. Comrades, we're ready now. We're ready now. Are you ready for the next Prime Minister of Jamaica? The Member of Parliament for Southern St. Andrew, the President of the People's National Party, Church friend, Southwest St. Catherine. Welcome, Party leader, next Prime Minister, Mark Jefferson Golden.
Golden, yeah. Mark Golden ready. We're ready. Yeah, we're ready. We're ready. Yeah, we're ready. We're ready. Yeah, we're ready. Yeah, we're ready. The people them ready. We're ready. Yeah, we're ready. We're ready. Yeah, we're ready. We're ready. Yeah, we're ready. We're ready. Whoa! Look at the people raising up. The whole Jamaica waking up. Get ready for go with gold. In the man with passion and a purpose. From Kingston straight to Bay. I'm not gold in them say. Get ready to make up a new way. Yo! The entire Jamaica golden and the best and it's true. When Golden step on the road, the people are really still love. Whoa! So let me see your hands up, so. Every Jamaican, put your hands up, so. Time from that we know on your mark set, go. Golden, you're ready for the road. Hey! My Golden, you're ready for the road. Dance all of me everything. Dance all of me everything. Dance all of me everything. Jungle is. Silly bum. Golden.
Yeah, testing. 1. Micah work. Church Friend Division, Southwest St. Catherine. What a conference. I want to tell you, when I came here this evening, I had no idea what I was coming to. I really wasn't expecting the energy, the vibes, the power of the people here in this venue tonight. And I want to big up Comrade Natalie Ho, because she has put on a fantastic conference. Everybody, just give her a round of applause for me. I want to also big up the other councillor candidates for Southwest and your caretaker, Dr. Kurt Wall. Dr. Kurt Wall is showing tremendous leadership in his position as caretaker of the constituency. Not too long ago, I visited the constituency for a tour which he organized. And I must tell you, it felt like a turning point in my leadership of the party, because the power and the vibes that came out of that visit to the Southwest was absolutely special. And I want to thank him for that. And I want to encourage all of you, continue to show the love and support for Dr. Wall and the team, Natalie, and the other councillor candidates, because you have a fantastic young team to work with, the best. This is what the PNP really stands for. Young patriots, intelligent, committed, diligent Jamaicans who are not here for their own selfish purposes, but are here to serve the people with good ideas and a clean heart and clean hands. And it's the best tradition of the People's National Party. So big up Natalie, Comrade Natalie, big up Comrade Kurt, and the other councillor candidates. Comrades, there are a few issues I want to touch on tonight. And the first of them relates to how the public sector workers were treated arising out of this restructuring. Comrades, from the beginning of the process, a year ago, we said to the government, your guiding principle in restructuring the salaries must be equity. There must be fairness in how everybody is treated. And we repeated that on each occasion that we spoke to the issues. As the time came closer to the end of the financial year, which was March 31, the government began to put pressure on some of the critical groups who did not feel that they were treated fairly. The police and the teachers in particular. And Nigel Clark came with this story and told them that if they didn't sign off on what was on the table before the end of the fiscal year on March 31, their retroactive payment wouldn't be paid at some future date, unknown date, but certainly not in the coming year. And it's on that kind of basis, with that kind of approach of duress to force them to sign, that they eventually capitulated and signed. He did not mention to the teachers and to the police that as soon as they signed and the new year started, the government would be awarding pay increases to themselves of 200 to 300%. When Nigel Clark came to Parliament and announced that, it took the nation by surprise. It took us in Parliament. I wasn't there the day. I had family visiting from abroad and I went to the country to be with them. When I heard about it, I just couldn't believe it. And the reaction of the people was predictable. One of anger, one of disgust. Because how can it be that the professionals on which this country relies for national development are left to feel disheartened, demoralized, and demotivated by relatively minuscule increases, especially when you take into account all the taxes that have been now charged on their allowances roll into their salary. And yet the governing class of people, the Prime Minister and his ministers in particular, award themselves massive increases of 200 to 300%. Comrades, I did not feel that I could support an approach like that. And I said to the country, the government should roll this thing back and they should refer it to an independent body of persons who can look at the whole thing afresh, take into consideration the principle of equity across the public service, and make sure that the relationship of the salaries to the leaders, the political leaders bears to the bearer and the janitor at the bottom of the pile, to the teachers and the police officers, the rank and file in the middle, is one of proportion and fairness. Take into account what leaders of other countries and ministers in other countries that are normally compared to Jamaica in our region, what are they earning? And what is their economy like? What is the size of the economy? What is the wealth of their economy per citizen compared to Jamaica? And come up with a fair and balanced proposal that the country can accept. And comrades, when we come into office, whether it be this year or next year, whenever it is called, I will be putting in place a mechanism to ensure that this does not happen again. And that when it comes to the salaries of the political directorate, they don't determine, or we don't determine our own salary, but it is fixed independently by reference to sound principles of good governance that the country can have faith, trust, and confidence in. Comrades, I move to the issue of the Integrity Commission. The Integrity Commission is something on which I feel strongly, because it was when I was Minister of Justice in the last PNP administration of the Most Honorable Portia Lucretia Simpson Miller that we designed the Integrity Commission. Up to that point, there were 3 separate bodies in the government system dealing with corruption matters. And we said we were going to merge them into a single entity. We were going to ensure that it had powers to share information and receive information from all the different tax and law enforcement entities across the state of Jamaica and internationally, and it would have prosecutorial powers. And we wanted to ensure that it was a robust and effective institution, because the problem of corruption in the country is like a cancer, eating away at the confidence that the people have in the government of the country, and we have to address it. And this government, since it came to office in 2016, has found it impossible to take their hand out the cookie jar. Entity after the entity across the public sector has been scandalized under this government by them looking after them friends and their cronies instead of using the resources of the people for the people and for the people only. And I am very uncomfortable when this government, led in fact by the MP for this area, Herald Warmington, is spending so much of their time and energy trying to dismantle and pull apart the Integrity Commission, neuter it and make it ineffective. It is a young institution. It is an important institution for the country. We must nurture it. Where they go wrong, we must point it out. We must encourage them to correct themselves, as was done recently when they tabled an addendum to a report, because facts were brought to their attention that they had overlooked, and which made that the criticisms that they had included in their original report quite inappropriate and unworthy. And to their credit, when these issues were brought to their attention, they saw fit to wheel and come again and issue an addendum correcting the errors that they made. And I think that was a good start and a good signal for how an institution like that ought to operate, with accountability for its own performance. And I commend them for that. I can tell you one thing, comrades. The People's National Party, under the leadership of Mark Jefferson Golding, will not support any dismantling or neutering of the Integrity Commission. We don't believe in When I was in Parliament on Tuesday, and I said these things, 1 and 2 of them across the aisle said, you don't believe in unity, because they were looking unity around what they were trying to do. I said, I will never unite with corruption. Never unite with corruption.
Kind of mix up the original. What do you have now?
All right.
Hey, follow me. Hey, follow me. Come follow me now.
Oh.
Mix this.
All right. So I'm going to speak as it relates to the fundamental issues that we need to fight for, right, as it relates to good governance. And I see Mr. Carl Robertson, right, saying that's why the PNP is like this. When a person don't agree with you, they are not good before you talk to them. Well, Mr. Carl, look, you have a right to your subjective opinion. In a way, thanks to you for passing through. Maybe if you stay too long over here, I can be able to convince you in terms of, go the other way. However, I am going to
be a Jamaican first instead of
right, as it relates to good governance. But I'm going to go back in history, right? And this is what is on record. I automatically search for this clip to make a reference to remind our Jamaican people, right? Jamaica Labour Party as a capitalist party. Might be if Carl Roberts, he's in the chat. He might be totally agree with me that, of course, the Jamaica Labour Party, right, is a capitalist party. And we know the mission of the capitalist. Now, not only that, I am going to play something that is globally recorded, right, of the significant damage, right, done via the Jamaica Labour Party propaganda. This is no form of me just saying this. I have the evidence as it relates to the philosophy of the Jamaica Labour Party, right? The propaganda, the very serious propaganda that Edward Philip George Siaga had calculated to damage democratic socialism. It's recorded in Jamaica. It's recorded globally. And so then I am going to make someone speak as a global renowned speaker. Speak on the issue, right? And tell you what happened. This is no history that is hiding. I remember that the Jamaica Labour Party orchestrated to stop Jamaica from getting basic food items. This is no joke. The Jamaica Labour Party had done this to the Jamaican people. That is one of the reasons why PJ Patterson had became so history of its purpose. That is the reason why PJ Patterson had became the longest serving prime minister ever through the history of Jamaica. For that fundamental reason, people, the society at the time, scared of Jamaica Labour Party, knowing very well what they had done. But don't listen to me. I want to play a clip and let you hear it. Honey, play it.
Which one are there? This is two you have of them. Okay, again, welcome guys. Happy Friday. Thank you so much for still being here. Which one? We have two of them.
Okay, this one. Yeah.
Okay. All right, let me just share.
Even down in Jamaica, I'm skipping, they tried in 1976 to organize a military coup to overthrow Michael Manley. In 1976, they supported attempts to assassinate Michael Manley on 3 different occasions. The little man who led Jamaica, who spoke at Savior's Day, was such a threat to our government that they attempted 3 times to assassinate the man in 1976. So later, they found a way to get rid of him through riots in the street over food when they cut off assistance to Jamaica. This is America.
Hold on. So then, now, this is not hidden history. And so for people who supporting Jamaica Labour Party, feel free to do so. Feel free to do so. But I remember the scourge that I personally experienced. And so then when I am here speaking, I speak with experience, knowledge, and facts to bear. Patricia Williams, true, I was a kid in the 70s, and it was a very dark time in Jamaica. Foods were married. Yes, married. So then tell me, because it is not only me and Patricia know this. And when we said married, we mean that we couldn't just buy, if we want to go to shop to buy a pound of flour, we can't buy a pound of flour. We have to buy a tin mackerel with it. Because it married the mackerel. If we want to go to buy cornmeal, we can't just buy cornmeal. We have to buy sugar. The Jamaica Labour Party has done that to the Jamaican people. And you know the funniest thing? The man who orchestrated that, Philip George Siaga, you notice I'm left off the honorable. Coming up clear on us. And whosoever want to vex, because I'm not call him honorable, it cannot, even in the grave, cannot be honorable. Philip George Siaga had done that to Jamaica. And Andrew Holness was taught by Edward Philip George Siaga. That is evidently true. So everything what Andrew Holness is doing, Andrew Holness is mimicking Edward Philip George Siaga. But as I said, it's just a matter of time. What I want, I am speaking to the 63% of persons who did not vote. This time around, give Mark Golden a chance. Put up Tara, what Tara said. He learned from the best. I am telling you, Sister Tara. And so then when we are here speaking, right? Now, one of the reasons why I played that clip is some current settings that we have been witnessing taking place with our backside. Because we are not making any money from the backside. We know who making money from the backside. And we know what backside mining had done globally to some societies. Wreck them, damage their health. So when we have one person owning 40 trucks, right? I'm going to get there. But before I get there, let me play back Brother Farrakhan speaking about the backside. Yeah, man. I research and I have that too. So without any further ado, let me share this clip. Thank you.
Why would you ship your bauxite to America to turn it into aluminum and then send it back to you with a price tag on it that breaks you? But if you had interrelationships with Trinidad, then you could send it to Trinidad, make Trinidad the center for bauxite in the Caribbean, and then let them make the aluminum. You make an agreement with them. It comes back to you, the finished product. You have iron ore. Why are you going to send it to Japan or China or somewhere to make steel? Set up a steel mill. It's all here for you, but it is your division that is sentencing you to death.
We want you as Prime Minister.
In closing, I said, Mr. Siaga, do you think the idea of the union of all of the islands is a good idea? He said, well, you know, some type of union, but in reality, the unity of the islands will never be. Listen, I said, why, sir? He said, because of the politicians and the way they think, they will not permit it to happen. I never said another word. But I had the most wonderful conversation with these two leaders of your parties. They're older men now, and they can guide Prime Minister Holness and Sister Portia Simpson Miller. And if they really see beyond their parties, one of the things that Mr. Siaga said, that the failure of the parties is this, that when one party goes out of power and a new party comes in, they don't dovetail off of the work that preceded them and build on it, so they just tear that work down and start all over again. So I asked him, would you mind if I said that tomorrow? He said, no, I've been saying it. Well, I'm going to give you the credit because that's where I heard it. I said, now look at this. Whoever becomes the party of power, they have a mighty mountain to climb. But if they make progress and you decide to choose the other party the next time around, then the new party should build on the good work of the party that preceded, so that Jamaica keeps on evolving toward the great destiny of Jamaica. I close. I close with this. If the politicians will not be of a mature mind to see how great the Caribbean would be as a united nation, one nation. If the politicians don't see it, then here's what I say to the politicians. In the Bible, it says there'll be a new heaven and a new earth, and the former things will pass away. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said it has significant meaning both in terms of the heavens and the earth, but that's billions and billions of years in the future. But what it's talking about now is a new spiritual and political leadership. See the heavens? How beautiful do the heavens and the earth work together? See? The sun and moon draws the water up from the earth's surface into the earth's rotation, which is called gravitation. And when it gets heavier than gravitation, it comes back to the earth, depending on what current of air the cloud is in. You get rain like we have.
Okay.
All right. Now I play that clip, and for persons to understand a sort of forward thinking, right, as it relates to putting Jamaica first before party. But I'm actually reading through the chat, and I saw again Mr. Roberts made mention of something there, and I'm going to address it. I'm going to address you, Mr. Roberts, right? And as I said, you know, I have to respect your opinion. We can agree to disagree. But you have said that Andrew is not white. That really shocked me. Honestly, Carl. Andrew is not white. Okay. I'm going to speak to certain unawareness. And I would like to ask Carl, what was Edward Siaga's complexion? Because here you are saying that Andrew is not white.
It's a dark day when we see color, not see people. Very dark.
No, this is extremely, extremely dark. And here's the reason why I say it. Because during slavery, let me say this to you, Carl. That yes, our colonizers, right? Portuguese, Spain, England, as it relates to the entire colonization process. I'm not going through any detail, but I'm going to address it. That prior to slaves in the Caribbean, in Africa, you have blacks, because this is history, right? This is part of my history as it relates to my degree that I've passed through as it relates to criminal justice. And where blacks help catch blacks and put them into slavery. Do you know that? In the America history, you have also whites who fought to free us. Did you know that? I want you to read on William Wilberforce. So let me give you a history, Mr. Carl. Because what you have said there is really racial. But what I want to say to you tonight, that you have some black man, or Bagawayas, And so then, because Andrew is black, he must be allowed to continue his wrongdoing and put us back into slavery. And then, because Mark Golden is white, he must not prevent that from happening because he's white. Mark Golden must not lead in a direction of nation building. So here you have the white man who wants to build a better nation for us. And here you have the black man who will be a part of SSL. I'm going to talk to you tonight, Carl. Who will be a part of SSL. And where SSL pilfered over 9,000 clients. SSL. The person, let me say this as a matter of your ignorance, sir, that the person who owns SSL is white for you. Your prime minister has a profile account in his entity. Your prime minister had gotten benefits.
Only one who benefited.
And based on what we receive now, he's the only one who benefited. So what are you saying? The black man must push us back into slavery, and the white man must not stop it. I can almost presume, right, that it appears
very sad
that you leave school, right, from a basic level. I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but that is primitive argument. Your argument is primitive because Mark White, as if Edward Philip George Siaga was black. My. So let me ask you something. Do you know Edward Philip George Siaga? I want to ask you, sir. Do you believe that Edward Philip George Siaga is black? He's not. So then, where your line of argument is going, you see that it is totally nonsensical. So I will say, because we are intelligent, and people over here, they are also intelligent, we will allow you to embarrass yourself, because we don't have to embarrass you. All right. Big up yourself, Jamaican Carlos. Bless up and strength as it relates to one of the soldiers burning the fire. People, Jamaican Carlos, remember, go over in place. You understand? Give him a strength up. One of us burning the fire. This is a person who wants to see nation building. So, for us to pursue nation building, sir, I am saying to you, it is not a matter of color for us. And let me give you a reminder.
You don't see color, you see people.
That you have some black tyrants in Nigeria. Moko Baram. Might be you like them better. They are cutting off the breasts of women. They are blacks. I don't see a white man in any part of the globe, in any group, cutting off the breasts of their white ladies. I have not heard that in history. But history for you and the lesson that you need to take tonight, Boko Haram had done that. So Carl, you need to do your lesson. So when you look, please, sir, God, he had made all of us. And so then you have to be disrespecting God to hate one of his race. All race are equal. And so then when you come on this chat, right, we will not allow you to be discriminative. We will guide your thoughts, right, to a better vision. And might be you need to move away from the ambit of the Jamaica Labour Party, if that's the thoughts that is springing from there. So then, and this is the reasons why, again, let me say this, we are supporting Mark Golding, not because his complexion, principle, standard, ethics, moral guidelines, that I do believe that Andrew Hornex is totally limited off. And even when Mark Golding show proof and receipt of only taking 20%, you, Mr. Carl, have you seen a receipt from Andrew Holness giving back? He preferred to lie to you that he did not take the raise. And he know of a fact that he took it. So then, for you, because he's black, that's okay. For you, shame. It's a shame if that's your level of thinking. But, you know, for who knows better, will do better. Right? So, Carl Roberts, back in the days, we all were saying black time. So what now? Black time. Okay. Sir, what I am saying to you, right? We are living in a world where multiple people shared, where multiple race share, and they all have a right to live in peace. And so then, for a garden to be beautiful to me, and just imagine that you have 1 mile of a garden that has only hibiscus, and as far as you can see that 1 mile, it is just hibiscus. Wouldn't that appear to be monotonous? If I have a garden that showing the beautiness of different flowers blooming, that is beautiful. So then we will continue on this channel, on this page, to be beautiful, because we accept every race to be here. And we have zero tolerance when it comes to anyone discriminating. All right? So that is where I stand. Now, I want to speak something. And my final clip for tonight, and for persons who think that, okay, all right, Mark Golding and persons in the party have differences and variables. It's far away from the truth. It's far away from the truth. Because Mark Golding and Lisa Anna having unity. And I'm going to play that clip for my final clip to show you that People's National Party are united for the objective of moving the nation forward. So whosoever want to believe that Lisa Anna is going anywhere. Lisa Anna is not going anywhere. So my final clip for tonight, let me play that, and then we have Jeopardy. Jeopardy people, stick around. Lisa. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you, Ambassador Ward. Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, President of the People's National Party, Mr. Mark Golding, and his beautiful wife, Mrs. Sandra Golding, and other representatives from the People's National Party. Good evening. It is a pleasure to be here celebrating on the eve of Jamaica 60 with many of you who are Jamaicans living in Washington, D.C., and who continue to lift the flag up for Jamaica in this part of the world, and especially to our Caribbean brothers and sisters who are joining us this evening. Thank you for coming out and thank you for being a part of this event, because it is important that our voices continue to work together and for us to continue to partner together as brothers and sisters of the region. This evening is special for several reasons, but mainly because it gives us an opportunity as the oldest and most progressive political movement in the Caribbean to share with you what we believe needs to happen for the region moving forward, and certainly what the People's National Party believes in and has always believed in then, continues to believe in now, and what we would like to do for the future generations of Jamaica and Jamaicans coming forward. Ambassador Ward has, and if you know him, he is a stickler for procedure. So he has asked me to speak to you this evening a little bit on diaspora policy before I introduce our leader to give you the lecture this evening. But I can't speak on PNP's diaspora policy without giving some context about who we are and about who we are as a party and what we stand for. So many of you would know that even before we were independent from Britain, our leader, Norman Manley, was the first leader in the Western Hemisphere to say to apartheid South Africa that we are not going to trade with you. We're not going to trade economically, and we're not going to trade in any kind of sustainable way with a country that subjects Blacks to this kind of racism and bludgeoning of their human rights. That is a party that we are a part of, and that is a party that Mark Golding leads today. When it was detrimental for anyone in the West to form diplomatic relations with people like Cuba, Venezuela, Brazil, China, Michael Manley said no. These are people who are like us. They have very similar per capita incomes to ours, and we are of similar backgrounds historically. And we took the courageous decision to establish diplomatic relationships with China at the time, back in the 1970s, with Cuba. We helped to fight for the liberation of Zimbabwe, Angola, South Africa. That is a party that we are a part of. That is a party that we stand up for. And fast forward to who we are today. We have not lost that value system of non-alignment, of believing in people's political sovereignty. And we stand up still for Venezuela. We stand up still for reversing the sanctions on Cuba. And we stand up still for maintaining our friendships in the world, because as a People's National Party, we believe in multilateralism and principled leadership, because we don't believe might is right, especially on smaller countries like those of us in CARICOM. And so this evening, I have the distinction and the privilege and the pleasure to introduce someone who leads a party that believes in regionalism, internationalism, and a part of you as a diaspora forms a part of that regionalism and internationalism with the tremendous work that you do outside of Jamaica. Because when there are certain crises that seem intractable for us to solve in Jamaica, you in the diaspora give your time, your service, your resources to make sure that our country not only survives, but it prevails. And I want to thank you on behalf of all Jamaicans for the service that you continue to do in that arena. Our 15 nations of CARICOM make up 8% of the world's countries. And even though we're small in numbers, we're powerful as a bloc. Mark Golding started off as a young man with a distinguished father who helped the less fortunate in Jamaica, Sir John Golding. And many of you know of the Mona Rehab Center. That is Mark Golding's roots. His father spent a tremendous amount of time helping the less fortunate in Jamaica with prosthetics. Yes. As he grew, he did kind of bright. And so he did well in school, but he was a rebel, not only in thought, but in action. So he was a little rebellious. And even though at a time when he grew up, we were just independent. So the kinds of social indignity that Black people would have faced and the classism in Jamaica at that time, the kind of social transformation that Michael Manley would have engineered, Mark was growing up at that time, and certainly the color of his skin would have been, many might have said that it would have given him privilege, but he never saw himself that way. He always saw himself as someone who wanted to help those persons who were marginalized and on the peripheries and the margins of society, and that is why he is a comrade. He did well, went to some big schools in England, surpassed all expectations, including his father and mother, because certainly where he was up in Mona, some of the extracurricular activities that he did in the evenings may not have made them believe that he would have turned out into the extraordinary attorney that he is today in Jamaica, specializing in conveyance, commercial law, corporate law, all of the big something we have to do. That's Mr. Golding over there. He went on to do very well in banking and started as one of the 3 partners over 30 years ago, Daring, Bunting, and Golding, and then worked to do and establish Proven some years after. In between that, Mark has been a senator. He was a Minister of Justice. We served together in the same cabinet between 2012 to 2016. He was a senator between 2007 to early 2017, yeah? And really pushed through some progressive legislation, and especially where the cannabis laws are concerned. And one of the most impressive things, because I was a Minister of Youth, is that he helped to decriminalize also retroactively those who had records for carrying marijuana, small doses of marijuana. He is a compassionate human being. He can be intemperate when he wants to get things done. I've sat with him on the Cabinet Legislative Committee, and he has had the distinction of being the only Minister of Justice that has pushed through the most legislation in the shortest space of time in Jamaica. So his gravitas is strong, it's intense. Now he has the awesome task of building a political movement that will satisfy the next generation, those Generation Zs and those alphas that are coming forward that want to see a life for themselves in Jamaica. And it's difficult to run a political party in the 21st century, especially with all of the kind of geopolitical upheavals that are taking place around the world now. And so with us this evening is, I would want to say, a Renaissance man who has a degree of humility that does not take himself too seriously, and someone who is a family man, married to his wife, Sandra Golding, for many years because she is much younger than him. And they have 3 beautiful adult children who have all done well and have graduated. So ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and welcome the President of the People's National Party, Mr. Mark Golding.
People, look, people, yeah. So people, yeah. I am so, look, let me say it. It's a privilege to have someone like this to represent us into a better future. Now, you've heard that. Mark Golding is the only member of parliament who had pushed through so much legislation in a short space of time. Right? When it comes to academically inclined, academically oriented, academically gifted. And so then, Mark Golding, who was a successful businessman and have success in everything that he had done. So Jamaica, this is one of the reasons why I play the clip, say, look, nobody come in and don't mix up thing and try to talk about Lisa and Mark and this and that, blah, blah, blah. Listen to me. Don't go between Lisa and Mark. Lisa and Mark, fine. And so the People's National Party is pushing through. We are not going to be misguided by the Jamaica Labour Party think tank. You understand? Them deceitfulness, them liarness, you understand? And then discriminatory behavior. Them skullduggery, them nepotism, them cronyism. We want to move free with good moral order. And so then what we want also, that when we put Mark Golding into power, we are going to ensure that the predecessors will be investigated. SSL will be reinvestigated. And so then, who doesn't want this justice? All I'm saying, they can stand in the way. Because Jamaica people need justice. We need a better country. And we need to be respected. So then, Mark Golding has proven himself. Right? He has been there. He has done that. Been excellent in the private sector. And he's going to be excellent in the public sector. And so then, everything that he touches is a success. And so then, I am following success. So I am appealing to that 63% tonight to step out. Give Mark Golding a chance. Give Mark Golding a chance. Because he has never failed thus far. Never failed. And so then, I am pleading, and this is where I finish tonight as it relates to my last clip there. And I want to say to my wonderful audiences to please always pass through the mystic sensation. Over here, you get the facts, not anything that package, not anything that we are going to get from the Miami Herald, not anything that we are going to get from Nationwide. We are not going to sit by the side. We are going to make sure we put Mark Golding there. And let me warn Jamaica Labour Party that the next polling that you will hear, because if we just barely turn it up, just 6%, and you have people fuming fraud, when we turn it up again, it is possible you're going to see some excretion escape. I'm leaving it there. So I'm handing over to wifey. Jeopardy people, big up on yourself.
Okay, so the WhatsApp line is open for anybody who wants to call in. I just dropped the number in the chat, and it's also streaming across the screen. The link is pinned. You can join us on the platform. You don't have to turn on your camera. So if you have any thing to say, you can call in, voice your opinion. The line's not open for a few minutes for those who want to call in.
Come on, people, Mystic Sensation. We don't bite over here now. Right? So, yeah, feel free to call, feel free to interact, right? So that's it.
Empress is saying the link isn't pinned on. Okay, let me try it again, but I pinned it earlier.
Okay.
Unless I thought, okay. Welcome, Empress. Happy Friday.
Bless up yourself, Empress. Chuck Life. Mr. Byron always coming with the fire. Bless up yourself, Chuck Life. Nothing less than the fire, Chuck Life.
It says it's pinned, but I'm going to do replace pinned message. So let's do it again. All right, so I pinned the link again.
Okay.
Anybody who wants to call in, the line is opened.
All right, so get over to Jeopardy. All right, so people, remember, right, we tune in every Fridays at 6:30, right? And so, yes, Tara, big up yourself, Sister Tara, love you. So, of course, you know, remember to tune in with us on a Friday, and we always appreciate that. And for new subscribers who come on, we are so thankful and grateful. And people, remember to hit up the subscription. If you like what you see, like what you hear, right? Don't afraid, man. Hit up the subscription, right? Like and share. All right. And once again, thank you for passing through.
Okay, I guess nobody.
And Arthur said not only push through bills, but none of them are unconstitutional, which is so true. Big up yourself, Arthur, for that.
And this person is saying,
if JP win, Jamaica done. Not a Jamaican. But I follow Jamaican news. Trust me.
Goodness.
It is that serious. It is that serious.
Okay, so again, thank you guys for joining in. Really appreciate it. Happy Friday to each and everyone again. And thank you so much for making the live very interactive. And everybody's opinion is valued, but we have to sometimes disagree to agree or agree to disagree, whichever way it goes, depending on the line of argument.
Okay.
But yes, and everyone is welcome. Okay. All right. So since no one's gonna be calling in or joining in on the link, so we've come to the end of the discussion. Now we are going to go into Jeopardy. Let me just bring up the template here. Now let me just close those. So let me just bring up the template. So remember, we're playing for credit. $1,000 Digicel for the person with the most points. Do that again. And then we're gonna have 4 runners up of $500 credit each, Digicel or Flow. And remember, the question is in the form of a statement. You answer in the form of a question. If it's the name of a person, you answer who is. And if it's the name of a place or a thing, you answer what is, and then you give the answer. All right, there we go. Yep. All right, so I am gonna go ahead. Okay, Clifton, welcome. He said, big up to you. Keep up the good work. Clifton. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you being here. Oh, Tara said it looked like the phone didn't want her to be great. You calling in, Tara? I guess you have to add us in your contact, and then you call on WhatsApp.
Or might be Tara is calling my number. Tara have that number?
I'll put the number on the screen. All right, Tara, don't just use the link.
Oh, we're going to have to get that right. Next time, we're going to have to get that right.
All right, so let me go ahead and share the screen. All right, so these are the categories for tonight. Let me just take away that logo. All right. So we're doing Jamaican civics. And yes, guys, I did find a civics book. So we're going to be getting a lot of Jamaican questions because we need to have our Jamaican cards right. We need to know our history.
Of course, and
yeah, I did get a hold of a civics book, and it's Jamaican civics, and then Bible quiz, science, mathematics, and riddles. All right, so of course, it's a word now. Of course, so gonna throw out a category, and the first one that I see is what we're gonna start with, and whoever answers it correctly will choose the next category, and so on and so on. All right, so choose a category. Oh, Christmas, I'm under some stress.
Oh, Christmas is.
Okay. Okay, Empress is saying civics for 100. High school that PJ Patterson attended. Which high school did PJ Patterson attend? And remember, you answer in the form of a question with what is. And if it's the name of a person, then you answer who is. Let me have a pen, please.
Oh, you want to use this?
Okay. And I see the answer that I am looking for, so no delay. So whoever didn't know which school PJ Patterson went to, high school, it is Calabar. So he went to Calabar High School, and that is for 100 points. So I see only one. Okay. And then, okay, so you're going to answer in the form of a question. It has to be what is and then the answer. All right, so let me refresh. and see who first came in with the correct response. So first on the board with 100 points is Mixing up on the board very early. Then Empress. And I see Glendon answered, but just abbreviated it and didn't put what is.
And that's 100 points,
That's
right?
100 points. So Mixing the only thing me know. Okay, Mixing, choose the next category and for how many points. Truck Life a nimble boss tonight. Mixing. Not coming through on here. It's okay. Okay, Mixing, choose the next category and for how many points. Jamaica for 200. Okay. Jamaican money, originally called the Concord. Which Jamaican money did we call the Concord in the, 80s and 90s, I think it was? Mm-hmm. Which Jamaican money was nicknamed the Concord? All right, I see the answer that I'm looking for, so no delays. What is the $100 bill? So the $100 bill was nicknamed the Concorde of the then Concorde airline, the very fast airline. I think that was out of France at the time, was nicknamed, $100 bill was nicknamed after that. So that's for 200 points. So let's see who first came in with the correct response. Empress, and that is for 200 points. Empress is on the board. Okay, so Empress, choose the next category and for how many points? And where's Ricardo?
100 points, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Is Ricardo sleeping?
Seems so. She's saying Jamaica for 300, or the board before it come. This is what Michael Manley called the stick that was given to him by Haile Selassie. So what did he nickname the stick that was given to him by Haile Selassie? Welcome, welcome, Chef Andre. Happy Friday. Thank you so much for joining in. Jesus, Father, you can't whisper. You know, you're saying nothing whisper. You don't even come close. So that means then I hear you then.
Okay. You see.
All right, I see the answer that I am looking for. Welcome, welcome, Ricardo.
You talk too quick.
Welcome, Ricardo. Happy Friday.
Ricardo there.
All right, so I see the answer that I am looking for. People say the rod, but it's the rod of something. It is the rod of correction. What is the rod of correction? And that is for 300 points. Yes.
So Ricardo get it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
So Ricardo running by the board. Okay, so he's the only one who put it. Other people got the rod, but not the correction part. All right. So Ricardo, choose the next category and for how many points? You're just running on the board, so. Busy eating KFC.
You know that everyone is free to join? Okay.
Okay, so everybody can play. Everybody is free to join the game. Come, Ricardo, pull yourself out of the box at KFC. Oh, and choose. Science for 100. This is the small unit of life. What is the small unit of life? This is the small unit of life. All right. Welcome, Anthony. Happy Friday to you. Thank you so much for joining in. All right, so I see the answer that I'm looking for, so I'm just gonna reveal it. What is cell? So cell is a small unit of life. Everything is made up from cells. All right, so first on the board with the correct response is Ricardo. Then Daniel, welcome, Daniel. Happy Friday. Thank you so much for joining.
And how much for that?
100.
For Ricardo?
Yeah. So Daniel, Empress, Ricardo, again. Chocolate microorganisms cell. Okay, Anthony, no, I put blood, no. All right, so Ricardo, choose the next category and for how many points? Ricky first. Okay. Okay, science for 200 says Ricky. All right. The largest planet in the solar system. The largest planet in the solar system. Let me put this back on. Largest planet in the solar system. Put this one back on Facebook. Okay, so the largest planet in the solar system. All right, and I see the answer that I am looking for, and it is what is Jupiter, and that is for 200 points. So let's see who first came in with the correct response. I am just refreshing to make sure I see it in the correct order. Truck Life,
all right,
is on the board. 200 points. Then Ricardo, Empress, Anthony, Daniel. I'm mixing. You're the only one who off. All right. Oh, Leroy, welcome. You are lagging. Somebody just put in the chat that Leroy needs to refresh. She's lagging. Chocolate is saying math for 100. Just ask Leroy to refresh on me, please. So math for 100. Name two operations used in mathematics. Name two operations used in mathematics. I hope I understand that question. Name two operations. Okay. Welcome, Picky. Also lagging a bit, I think. Yep, welcome, Picky. Happy just answering Jupiter. So Leroy and Lexi, let's say Lexi, needs to refresh. Someone will just put that in the chat, please. All right, I see the answer that I am looking for. And any of these two would have done. So addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So any of those two. All right, so let's see who first came in with the correct response. So first on the board with the correct response, Ricardo, you didn't put it in correctly. So first on the board with the correct response is Empress. Then Ricardo.
How much for that?
That is for 100 points. Mixing, Empress again, Anthony. Okay, Leroy still needs to refresh. Okay. All right. So Empress, choose the next category and for how many points? Sorry, let me release the board. You'll need to send some of that rain. Send some of that rain my way. And Empress is saying Jamaican for 400. Edward Seaga was born in. Where was Edward Seaga born? And it's a double point answer. Where was Edward Seaga born? All right, I see the answer that I am looking for. All right, so Edward Seaga was born in Boston, Massachusetts, in the United States of America. And that is for 400 points. Let's see who first came in with the correct response. Let's see. Just put USA. No, nope. Ricardo, what is massive? You put it for short. So Ricardo, and that is for 400 points. So what is a major? All right, and then Empress, which she put the full Boston, Massachusetts. Bagga. May I make a switch? Bagga, welcome again. Oh, it's doubling, no, 800. Sorry, my bad. 800 points for Ricardo. It's double. Yeah. Sorry about that. All right, so Ricardo, choose the next category and for how many points? Oh, Leroy is still way behind.
Bagga.
You know, who you think is Bagga?
I want Ricardo.
It's way behind. It's the refresh. Leroy is lagging, yes. Okay, so it's saying science for 300. It's in the chat, but I am the powerhouse of the cell. I am the powerhouse of the cell. What is the powerhouse of a cell? All right, I see the answer that I am looking for, and we are not going to delay. All right, and what is the mitochondria? So that is the powerhouse of the cell. And that is for 300 points. So let's see who first came in with that 300 points. I see two close, one behind the other, the same answer. All right, so first on the board with the correct response is Ricardo, then Empress, and that's how the answer
for Ricardo?
came in. Yeah, Ricardo, 300. 300 points. Comes take off spell check and can't spell. Person doesn't even start mark for spelling, you know. Oh my goodness. Okay, Ricardo, choose the next category and for how many points. Ricardo, so me now look impressed, weak and laughing. Okay, Ricardo, choose the next. It was Ricardo, but choose, right? Yeah, Ricardo, choose the next category and for how many points. Civics for 500. The first authentic Jamaican coin, what was it called? The first authentic Jamaican coin. What was it called? The first authentic Jamaican coin. Think about the 4-class song. Do I need to give a clue? Carry Aki go instead market nata no sell. Carry Aki go instead market nata no sell. Lord, what a night, what a night. What a Saturday night. That's your clue, Lord. What a night, nata no sell. Welcome. I see it. Welcome, Charlie. Happy Friday.
Charlie Payne, what's up? One.
Me say I'm always coming blazing. All right, I see the answer that I am. Look at quart. What? Me no know the money they truck life. So I know the 4-class song. Carme Akigo instead market not a quati no sell. That's the coin. Quati. What is a quati? That's the first authentic Jamaican coin. It was called a quati. And that's why Louis Bennett sang about it. All right. And that was for 500 points. All right. So let's see who came in with the correct response. But the Empress is a typo. Okay, Empress is a typo. So first on the board with the correct response is Empress for 500 points.
500 points.
Yeah, she corrected it. Then also Mixin got it. Truck Life, I don't know which country their money they spend.
All right. And so the score as it is, Mixin on 100 points. Truck Life, 200 points. Empress, 800 points. And Ricky Ricardo in the lead, 1,500 points.
Okay, all right. So Empress choose the next category and for how many points? Oh, you see us put it there, Quattie. That's how the book spelled it. Right, Empress is saying riddle for 100. What ends of everything? What ends of everything? Or what ends everything? Or if the office in there, what ends everything? That sounds more kosher. All right, I see the answer that I am looking for, and it is what is the letter G. The letter G ends everything. All right, and that is for 100 points. Let's see who first came in with the correct response. Empress. And that is for 100 points. Then Baga Baga. Then Empress again. Empress.
100 points?
Yes, 100. All right, Empress, choose the next category and for how many points? Riddle for 200. No matter how little or how much you use me, you change me every month. No matter how little or how much you use me, you change me every month. Lord Jesus, Mr. I'm going to think about it, you know, it's interesting to see some of the answers.
All right.
It's going to be interesting to see some of these answers. Oh. Somebody went go through. Okay. Lord Jesus, I see the answer that I am looking for. All right, so let me just reveal a known delay. What is a calendar? No matter how little or how much you use me, you change me every month. Every month you have to look at a new part of the calendar. All right, let's see who first came in with the correct response. Light bill. Money. You change money every second. All right, so first on the board with the correct response is Empress.
And how many points?
200 points. You release the screen. It's your Rick mixing you change your vehicle every month. Oh my goodness. We need to come over close to you. Almanac Clive. Listen, I overlook the one the big said where Ricky put. Okay, all right. So Empress, choose the next category and for how many points?
Pick up this one first.
Mixing, since you change your vehicle every month, may I put in my order from now? I need a Corvette. All right, she's saying riddles for 3 bills. What gives you ability to walk through walls? What gives you ability to walk through walls? Oreo, welcome, welcome. Happy Friday. Where am I change clothes fast? All right, I see the answer that I'm looking for, and it's what is doors? So, and that is for 300 points. So let's see who first came in with the correct response. Empress. Oops, let me refresh. I didn't refresh that. Refresh first, because I don't want anybody shouting at me in any tone of words. Empress, and that's for 300. And then Oreo, cheesecake, mixing. All right, and that's how the answers came in. So Empress, choose the next category and for how many points? Hurricane. Riddles for 4 bills. Oh my goodness. 2 in a corner, 1 in a room, 0 in a house, but 1 is in a shelter. 2 in a corner, 1 in a room, 0 in a house, but 1 in a shelter. So 2 in corner, 1 in room, 0 in house, but 1 in shelter. All right, I see the answer that I am looking for. And what is the letter R? 2 letter R's in the word corner. 1 R is in room. None is in house, but 1 R is in shelter. So, and that is for 400 points. So let's see who first came in with the correct response. Okay. So what is bed? Rat. Okay, Empress. So 400 points for Empress. Then, okay, that's how the answers.
And so the score as it is, mixing on 100 points. Truck Life, 200 points. Empress and Ricky Ricardo, 1,500 points each.
What?
Yep, tie.
All right, so, okay, your Empress is finishing off riddle. I start with M, end with X, and I have many numbers of letters in me. I start with M, end with X, and I have any number of letters in me. Riddle Queen on it already. Queen of riddles. All right, I see the answer that I'm looking for, so known delays. And what is a mailbox? Mailbox. So it starts with M, it ends with an X, and it holds many letters. And that is for 500 points. So let's see who first came in with the correct response.
500 points.
500 points. Empress. All right, Charlie. We're praying for you, Charlie. All right, choose the next category for how many points, Empress. Mitchie Boo, welcome, welcome. Happy Saturday to you.
Mitchie Boo, big up yourself.
For joining in. Bless up, Mitchie. Saturday over there in Australia. Excuse me, sorry. Okay, science for 400. It's a branch of science that deals with the study of life. It's a branch of science that deals with the study of life. As long as you come very close, because then tell you enough to whisper. What? If me have to wager anything, you know, make me lose everything.
Yeah.
You know, make me lose big time. Oh my goodness. All right, I see the answer that I am looking for, and it is what is biology.
Oh, I think. Oh, I thought.
Okay. Not ancient life form. All right. Let's see who came in. So that's for 400 points. So let's see who first came in with the correct response. Okay. Ricardo, what is biology? And that's 400. Then Empress, Daniel, Charlie.
And so the score as it is, mixing on 100 points. Truck Life, 200 points. Ricky Ricardo, 1,900 points. And Empress, 2,000 points.
You hear Pastor son? Oh, it's time for my category now, so please step back, guys.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so who first got it again? Ricardo.
I think.
All right,
Yeah.
Ricardo. Talk your talk. You talk your talk. Now choose. How much him asking? How much him there?
Ricky, 1,900. Empress on 2,000. Mixing 100. Short life 200.
All right, come. Back up your talk. Choose. Math for math for 500. I am the father of mathematics, and it's a double point answer. I am the father of mathematics. Not ready for that yet. Remember, name of a person is who is. All right, and I see the answer that I am looking for. Okay, it's corrected. Who is Archimedes? So Archimedes is the father of mathematics, and that is 1,000 points for the person who gets it correctly. All right, so let's see who first came in with the correct response. Oops. Just there, but they started out with what is. All right, let's see who finally put who is first. Ricardo. So that's 1,000 points for Ricardo.
1,000 points?
Yes, it's a double point answer. And then, oh my goodness.
So there you have it.
Empress.
The score as it is, mixing on 100 points, Short Life 200 points, Empress 2,000 points, Ricky Ricardo 2,900 points. Wow. I won the big.
What? I buy you Empress. Oh my goodness.
Kuzu.
Empress over Kuzu, no. All right, so Ricardo is saying math for 400. The name given to an angle that is greater than 180 degrees and less than 360 degrees. The name given to an angle that is greater than 180 degrees and less than 360 degrees. Name the angle.
Hold on.
Abuse. Abuse. Abuse.
Yeah. Yeah, that much I remember forward now. Yeah, get that wrong.
Miss, no sir. You read you read name in the whole angle. All right, I see the answer that I am looking for. It's a reflex angle. So what is a reflex angle? And that is for 400 points. So let's see who first came in with. Hey, my son, why use me calculator to, you know? All right. Okay, Leroy's caught up. Okay, good. All right, so I see the answer that I'm looking for. So let's see who first came in with the correct response. Abuse. Wait. No, it's A. And Ricardo, the spelling. I said somebody really put what you said.
Mm-hmm.
No, not from here. Anyways, it's spelling it. There's the thing off. Okay, so Empress, what is reflex? And that is 400 points.
Empress?
Yeah, so 400 points for Empress. And then Ricardo. Makes it sound I'm Baron and having too much fun. You know, Baron, I rename the angle. My mixing. Charlie heard you. He would say, Baron, I agree, it's abuse to my brain. Oh my goodness. Isaac's family, welcome. Happy Friday to you. Thank you so much for joining in. Really appreciate you being here. All right, so who got that? It's Empress. So Empress choose the next category and for how many points? Oh my goodness. Math for 300 says Empress. The highest common factor of 24 and 32. The highest common factor of 24 and 32. What is the highest common factor of those two numbers? All right, I see the answer that I am looking for, so no delays. What is 8? So the highest common factor for both is 8. And oh, I should have put it in. Oh, you get it. But anyways, you got it. So, and that is for 300 points. So let's see who first came in with the correct response. Truck Life.
How much points?
300. Empress, Ricardo, then Daniel. Boy, I say Empress will line out the candle, them all parchment paper and padlock.
So the score as it is, mixing on 100 points, Truck Life 500 points, Empress 2,400 points, while Ricardo 2,900 points.
And for People TV also have 8, but you need to put what is before the answer. Okay, just playing for fun. All right, so Truck Life, choose the next category and for how many points? No more. All right, choose the next category and for how many points? I put it in the other cupboard. Still have a problem with turning my neck fully to the left. All right, Truck Life is saying math input 200. I am a shape with 10 sides. I am a shape with 10 sides. Name the shape. I have 10 sides. I'm going to name out all of them now. You want to go in and see? Okay. All right, I see the answer that I am looking for, and it is what is decagon. So 10 sides. Shape with 10 sides, it's called a decagon. So and that is for 200 points. So let's see who first came in with the correct response. Empress. Then, oh, she corrected the spelling. Then Ricardo. It is a stop sign. Oh my goodness. All right, so Empress came in with the correct response, and that is for 200 points. 200 so points. Empress, choose the next category and for how many points? Okay, Empress is saying Bible for 100. Oh, they're almost done. with the board. Name the man who went to heaven without dying. Name the man who went to heaven without dying. Make the Sunday school teacher proud, people. Make the Sunday school teacher proud. So welcome, Tammy. Happy Friday. Thank you so much for joining. Who is it? No. You know, make me lose if me have a bet. The second time.
I get rusty. Go to one?
You went to heaven without dying. You were taught about him in religious knowledge in high school, and you were also taught in Sunday school. He walked until he disappeared.
Oh.
Okay. I said the man, not the men. All right, I see the answer that I am looking for. Give me far.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. Who is Enoch? So the answer is Enoch, and that is for 100 points. So let's see who first came in with the correct response. You're welcome, Tammy. My goodness, it went off. First on the board with the correct response is Empress for 100 points. Then Ricardo.
So here's a pen.
Did I take your pen? Take out one more out of the seat there.
How much for Empress?
100.
For Empress?
Yes. Charlie.
So the score as it is, Mixing on 100 points, Truck Life 500 points, Empress 2,700 points, Ricky Ricardo 2,900 points. But Empress partially catch up with
Ricardo. Yes, Empress tip of the tongue. It's a far instead of four. All right. All right, so Empress choose the next category. Oh, she's saying science. She's finishing science. Name 3 states of matter, and it's a double score answer. So whoever gets this correctly is gonna get 500 points, and then the entire score that they have is going to be doubled. So name 3 states of matter. Name the 3 states of matter. So them British can't hold them, you know. Answer throughout long time. All right, no delays there. What is solid, liquid, and gas? And that is for 500 points, and then double your overall score. Let's see who first is gonna come in with the answer.
Would the Empress or Ricky get this?
Well, don't be surprised if somebody throw a kangaroo wrench in there, because on a monkey wouldn't be monkey wrench.
I don't know the kangaroo.
All right, Ricardo, what is solid, liquid, gas? So 500 points added to him, and then double his overall score. Then Empress is right behind him. Then Truck Life, Danielle. Ricardo, watch Father God at work. Empress, you win down. Congrats. Okay,
so the score as it is, Mixing on 100 points, Truck Life 500 points, Empress 2,700 points, Ricky Ricardo 6,800 points. Did I hear? Remember to spend the 2,000 a flight.
I feel safe on the board, Tammy.
Oh yeah.
All right. So, choose the next category and for how many points, Ricardo? Well, it's one. Just choose the amount of points you want for that category because it's one category that's left. I'll breeze through it fast tonight, and I thought last week we were gonna book shuffle with it and it would take long. Okay, saying 500.
So why finish before 10 it looked like?
Because the people of Babel were disobedient, God changed there. Because the people of Babel were disobedient. Because the people of Babel were disobedient, God changed there. What did God change?
I told you it was going to happen.
I'm so tongue-tied today. Because the people of Babel or Babel, Babel were disobedient, God changed there. What did God change for them? Yes, we know it's a tower, Ricardo, but what happened at the tower? What did God do?
There won't be people on it.
And you last eat, so I don't know.
Well, if that is the case, it leave a lot, you know.
Okay, we need what is. So
natural time.
Okay, I see the answer now that I am looking for, because remember, before the Tower of Babel, everybody spoke the same language. Now, because they were so brazen and wanted to build a tower to try to get into heaven, Lord caused confusion by making everybody start speaking a different language, or so the story goes. And that is for 500 points. So let's see who first came in with the correct response. Let me go through it with a fine-tooth comb. Okay, we were saying it from before. Some of the information is delayed on this device. Okay. So first on the board with the correct response is Ricardo, because he has what is. Leroy actually put it there, but he didn't put what is. And also Poor People Voice TV also came in with languages. Yeah, Charlie sort of confused them with the language, yes. Okay, and Empress also put language. Okay, so that's how the answers came in. So first on the board is Ricardo, and that is for 500 points.
500 points.
Yeah. Okay, Ricardo, choose the next category and for how many points?
Well, that's 7,200.
Okay, so 400. Why do I keep saying choose next category? Because I'm so accustomed to saying that. There were this many people saved by Noah's Ark. There were this many people saved by Noah's Ark. How many persons were saved on Noah's Ark? You know, your people. You know that in other people. But I don't know what's in the chat. Okay. I see the answer that I am looking for, and it is what is 8. So 8 persons were saved on Noah's Ark. All right, so let's see who first came in with the correct response.
And that is what, 400 points?
Yeah, 400. Ricardo, 8. Whoa. So 400 points for Ricardo. Then Poor People Voice. Nope. Then Empress. Right, so Ricardo, how many points? 300, okay. When the people heard Noah's warnings, what did the people do when Noah warned them that there was going to be a great flood? What did they do? Delco, you change your clothes. Welcome, welcome. Happy Friday. Thank you so much for joining. Come on, Delco David. All right, and I see the answer that I am looking for. So they laughed. So when Noah warned of the flood, they laughed. So, and that is for 300 points. Yeah. Michael, welcome, welcome. Happy Friday. Thank you so much for joining in. All right, so that was for 300 points. Let's see who first came in with the correct response. Empress, did you write it? Oh.
Yeah.
Empress is saying send hers to 846 flow.
Empress?
Mm-hmm. All right, so let's see who first came in. So first on the board with the correct response running in is Delco.
Oh,
so David is on the board. With 300 points. Then Ricardo, Charlie, but he didn't put what is, he's just throwing it out there. Michael, yeah, they mocked him and they laughed, yeah. And Get a Girl, welcome, welcome. Happy Saturday to you. Thank you so much for joining in. Really appreciate you. Big up yourself and big up
Bless up, Get a Girl
family.
All right.
All right, so just one left on the board, and that is 200 points. The were brought to the ark by God. What were brought to the ark by God? What were brought to the ark by God? Have a great weekend as well, Charlie. Thank you so much for joining in. Really appreciate your continued support.
Big up yourself, Charlie.
You have a wonderful and productive week as well. Until we meet again on YT Streets. All right, I see the answer that I am looking for. And it is what is animals. So God led the animals to the ark and led them into the ark. Right, and that is for 200 points. So let's see who first came in with that 200 points. So let me stop sharing there. All right. Let me just quickly refresh again. David.
All right.
So 200 points for David. Then Ricardo. You're Ricardo, hey boy, David. Michael, still here. Thank you so much. Happy Friday to you.
Bless
okay,
yourself,
no
Michael.
problem. Get a girl.
All right.
Okay.
So,
thank you so much. Really appreciate you. Changing clothes again. Well, this is not bad. Then I made it just in time. Oh my goodness.
So the score on persons who made the board tonight, Mixing 100 points, Delco 400 points, Short Life 500 points, Empress 2,700 points, and Ricky Ricardo 7,700 points. Is this?
I think he beat his you beat your record,
7,700 points. Wow.
Oh, shucks, another dozen.
Have to go.
Last one.
I score.
Please.
Huh?
Mr. Grant.
This is
Put it back. How much you say? No, he's 500 points. He got 300 and 200.
what?
For Delco. It's 300
Okay.
and 200, so it's 500
I thought
points.
so, okay.
He's correcting you.
All right. So 500 points for Delco.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so my bad.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
God, I said not even know where it did now. It's written down on one of these things over here.
So,
High score.
but I think this score is the highest score so far.
7,700
points.
Mm-hmm.
So, we keep this.
Daniel said, Delco, the unexpected. So congratulations to everyone who, all the winners tonight. And really appreciate everyone who participated. So congratulations to everyone who participated as well, because you were putting in the answers. So really appreciate each and everyone who... Oh, Michael is putting out a question there. What is bigger, the land or the sea? What is bigger, the land or the sea?
I would say the sea.
Wait, I can't find it. Okay. You said the sea?
Yeah.
Because
by far.
The world was water before.
By far. Because
I go agree with you.
Huh?
I go agree with you. Blessings again, Daniel. Okay, so we're saying the sea, Michael. What's the answer?
I'm saying the sea. Because the world itself occupied roughly about 75% of water.
Okay.
Bless up, Daniel. Google it. Obviously, it's a sea.
What is bigger, the land or the sea? 71% of the Earth's surface is covered by ocean, while only 29% is land.
Exactly.
Okay, so yeah, it's the sea. All right. So again, thank you so much, guys, for joining in. Really appreciate each and no, the land is bigger because the sea is. It's given a trick question. No, the land is bigger because the sea is on land. Is the sea on land really? No.
So,
the sea is not on land.
Yeah. You'd have to know define land and define sea.
Okay.
All right.
So thank you so much, guys, for joining in, and thank you for making it such a lively discussion. And again, want to appeal to the 63% who didn't vote. Please make sure you go out and vote, register to vote.
Exactly.
Because we see the mess that we're in right now.
It's extremely important.
Our feet are covered in mess and we need to get it washed off. So make sure you register to vote. Those who are still indecisive, we have the UIC out there. If you don't want to be for any of these PNP or JLP, you have options, but you need to go and vote. If you don't vote, we're going to continue standing in the mess, and the mess is going to even get bigger and bigger. Okay, so if you don't vote, you won't have a change. So it doesn't make sense you sit back and say, I'm not going to vote, because what is happening, it's not going to change. You can only make the change if you vote. So make sure you register and go out there and make your voice be heard. we are their employers. We employ them, we can fire them. The finger is very mighty.
Exactly.
So go out there, make sure you vote. Whoever is eligible, and even if they can't move, galvanize, help them out, go to the station, vote, organize yourselves, help those who need help, and everybody go out there and make your choices.
Well, make your choices. You have 3 parties out there. You can go out and you can vote for the PNP. You can go out and you can vote for the PNP, and you can go out and vote for the PNP. Those are the 3 choices.
At the end of the day, guys, we are putting Jamaica first. So we have to look into the choices that we have and try to make the best decision in order to get our country moving forward and preserve what we can for our future generation. Because if we don't, the future is already looking bleak. And if we make the same mistake again, then God help us. Okay. All right. So Ricardo is saying 303 digit number. Okay. Yeah, Ricardo, I know that's what you want it on. And mixing, I think mixing is the one number 2 that he wants it on. So, and David, which one do you want it on? Because you have several. If the sea dry up, what you have left? Sand. You cannot build your house on sand. It's gonna sink. It's not land, it's sand. Sand is not really stable. Okay, you said the 408. Okay. Okay. All right, guys. So much love and blessings to each and everyone. Again, thank you so much for your continued support, to all our new subscribers. Thank you, and welcome on board. And really appreciate each and everyone. We always say it, that you could have been elsewhere on a Friday, but you chose to be with us because there's so many options out there and other things that you could have been doing, but you chose to be with us, and we don't take that for granted. So thank you so very much. Really appreciate you guys. So we're here every Friday because our work schedule, we can only do one per week. So we're here every Friday. We normally start at 6:30 p.m. When it permits. We've been starting on time for the past couple of weeks, except for last week when I had to work my full 12-hour shift because I couldn't get anyone to take my last 4 hours. When I work on a Friday, that's what I have to do. I either get someone to do the entire 12 hours and I work for them another day, or I just do 8 hours and get somebody to come in from me for 4, and then I work that 4 for them another day. But last week, I could not get anyone, and I was trying from weeks before, and it didn't work out, so I had to do my full shift last week. And so we started late. We started at 8 p.m. because I finished work. Should have finished work at 7:45, but we ended up going late because I was charged, and then I had to hand over the entire emergency department to the next charged person. So I was like running. I was tired, but yeah, we normally start at 6:30 on Fridays, but we always send out the notification like on Thursday night. So if there's gonna be a delay in the start time, you will be notified. And I also put information in the community chat if we're gonna be late. But for the past couple of weeks, months, we have been, yes, Arlene, nursing life, it's not easy. So we've been doing good for the past couple of months, except for Friday, when we didn't get to start at 6:30. But the other shifts that I have, I'm still working on trying to get. I've managed to get some of those. Like next week, I got somebody working for me already, but I have some because it's summer too. It's hard because a lot of persons are on vacation during the summer, and there's always a bit of shortage in terms of staff, so it's hard to get the shift swap during the summer, and we end up working extra time and on our days off and stuff, so it's a bit more difficult during the summer, but I've gotten some of them sorted already, so hopefully for the rest of the summer we can start on time. If we can't, then we will be notified. Yep, but there's a lot of persons who still don't see it that way, and I don't know what it's gonna take. And it's not like they're getting preferential treatment. They are being cushioned from what others are facing, but I guess the scales are still over their eyes, and I don't know when it's gonna fall off. You know, it's time we start to put our country first and move away from the whole partisan politics and look at who has the better plan, who has the better mandate, who has the better policies that's going to work in taking us forward, and it's going to work in nation building and preserving legacy for our future generation. Because right now, a lot of the young men are seeing a lot of hopelessness, helplessness, and hapless. And that's why a lot of them have to cry, because there's really nothing for them. Not that I'm condoning that, but you know, when you have people who they see just hopelessness, you know, when their back's against the wall, then a lot of the times they just do what they have to do to survive, unfortunately. Okay, guys, so again, I'm going to say have a blessed and wonderful night. Is that what's my score? Yeah. Okay, so your score is 7,700, Ricardo. Empress was 2,700. Truck Life 500. Delco 500. And Mixing 100. Yes, Arlene, desperation. Real desperation. Because the youth, there's not much that's set up for them for the future. A lot of them even go to university, get their qualifications and whatever, and still having a hard time getting a job, because a lot of these jobs, they want you to have experience. And if you don't, somebody don't give you a chance, so you're going to get the experience, or they tell them that, oh, they're too qualified, they're overqualified, and they can't pay them, or, you know, and a lot of the times we end up losing our brilliant minds because of persons who find the opportunity in other countries and help to build other countries, while our country is behind in terms of the professionals that we need. Look at the teachers. We're having an exodus of teachers leaving, and it's really sad, and it's like the government don't really care. They don't care at all. I don't know what's gonna happen September morning when school opens. So it's just ridiculous. Yeah, you set a new record, Ricardo. That's what we were asking, because we figured, yeah, this is higher than the last one. All right, so I am not going to delay any longer. So again, have a blessed and wonderful weekend, and have a wonderful and productive week, and stay safe, and safe travel on the gravel until next week. Love you all, and thank you so much for your support.